Hi guys, it's Romanov here, and this is my first Facebook Live in English. So I'm going to wait until some guys will appear, and well, I'm just 1 minute ahead. I can see myself here, so just waiting for you. Yeah, the first guy is here. Hi. As I was speaking, this is my first Facebook Live in English. And even though I recorded lots of videos in English, I'm kind of stressed because this is like the first interactive video in foreign language. Actually, okay, who is here? Because I cannot see you, who is here, so it will be nice to say hello. Hello, guys. Okay, I'm going to wait until more guys will come. 7 people. Okay. So, I'm glad to see you here, and I'm in Poland, I'm in Łódź, I'm sitting in the middle of my new apartment for renting, and hi, it's nice to see you here. Okay, so I think we can start because it's already 1 minute, so anyone who will be late, it's their problem actually. So first of all, I would like to say hello, Zielony Bag. Okay, hi, Pavel. Okay, maybe instead of saying hi, I'm going to start saying something that will be profitable for you because for years I'm earning money on Redline, and this is something that I discovered. Well, this is quite obvious, but coaching other people, I discovered that many people really dream of having good evening, dream of having a positive Redline, and I think there are lots of misconceptions about the Redline. So today I'm going to tell you how to do this and how can you think about the Redline, and how you should not think about the Redline. So first of all, the most important line is the green line, not the red one. The red one is just the style of playing. And of course, you may earn a lot of money on the red line. You may be a very dangerous player. And at the same time, someone else having red line negative can earn more money. So what I think the most important is to take care of your green. So I think the key to the red line is not to think about it at all. It's like I remember when I was watching a video of some guy from Card Runners years ago, and he said, "Wow." If you want to earn lots of money, you need to do what's best for you, not to follow the money. Like if you do the quality job, the money will follow. So the very same concept is with the red line. You need to play the best poker you can, and I can show you some tools and tips and tricks how to do this. And it's not always possible. It is possible for everyone, but it doesn't mean it will be profitable. So the key is to adapt to your opponents in a way to earn the most amount of money. On low stakes, I don't think having red positive is the most EV plus. I think the very solid game of the very solid style will be the most profitable, and on higher stakes it will be in the red line. I've seen many differences on different stakes. Like if you're playing NL25 or NL50, you shouldn't be bothering yourself at all about the red line. I mean, the stuff that I'm showing in the course that I'm just starting to sell today, actually, because this is my birthday, and I thought, okay, this is a great date. This is a perfect date. Like many people are coming in and saying, "Hello, Robert. All best to you," and so on. So I decided, okay, it's a great time to do this. If you'll be focusing yourself on the red line, if you're playing low stakes, you're going to need nerves of steel, or you'll be wasting a lot of money. The thing is, you need to adapt to your opponent the most in the very best way you can. So, if you're playing versus calling stations, please forget about it. Sure, or if you're playing versus weak players who cannot fold, or they just think about their hands, just their hands. It's not your goal to have the red line on, positive, but your goal should be to earn the most amount of money. I'm repeating it several times because this is a really important concept. But when you start playing a 200 or something, people will know how to fold their good hands to recognize what you're doing. And from this point, having red positive is very simple, actually, because you may be very aggressive, you may be, overbetting a lot. You may be donking, you may be calling them down, and so on. So the thing is, each stakes, entire stakes, will make your opponents to recognize your hand range and hand ranges better, and will force or encourage them to fold more often. So I think the easiest stakes for me to have read on the plus was NL1K, because I could really feel that the money that we're playing with were huge amount of money, and it's much easier to convince your opponent to fold. So I just wanted to start with this myth that the red line is like the cure for everything. It's not. But what it's going to give you, I think, red means to be dangerous. Red line. Someone who is earning money on the red line is a dangerous player. So the key is to have to be very dangerous player, to create trouble, some problems for your opponent that they need to solve in the real time, and you're just making your life easier and their life harder. So this is what I was doing last years all the time. And if you want to know because I'm talking normally in Polish language, what I do when I do any coaching or any video, I'm used to be more interactive. So how do you think, what is the best style to have positive red line? Or in which style it is possible? Okay? Any suggestions? Come on, guys. Some guys are hearing what I'm saying. So what kind of, maybe, the style. I'm asking about the style. What's necessary to have the red line plus? Okay, so first question, is it possible to have, let's say that you're playing 6 max, right? 6 max, and you're playing that kind of style. Ultra tight. Is it possible to have positive red line or not? Yeah, this is like a huge need. So, one more time, is it possible or not? Yeah, you're right. Tight players can be persuasive. Yeah, I know. Years ago, I made a competition that please show me your graph, and the guy with the nicest graph will earn a coaching. So there was one guy who was playing this style, 17-14, and his red was positive, and I was shocked. Oh my god! I thought it's not possible. It is. The thing is, he was playing NL50, but he was so tight and so aggressive that everyone was folding. And he was, of course, earning money, not maybe a huge amount of money, 2 or 3 big blinds, but the red was positive. So this is the first style. How about this style? Is it possible? Easier? More difficult? How do you think? 2118, like a standard time years ago. Let's say 2118, 6, free bet. Is it possible or not? Okay, Hubert and Piotr just said something about tight players, but this guy is a normal guy. Is it possible? How do you think? Okay, maybe a tricky question. Yes, you're right, Marco. Not easy. You're right. Yeah, VPIP preferably is 3 bet. 6 will be a 3 bet. Yeah, I think Marco just answered that it's not easy. I believe that with every preflop style you can... Yes, it's true, because even if you're playing a style like this, which is like total fish, that kind of fish can have red positive. It depends how he plays post-flop. And also, I would like... it may be funny, but I can give you like a tool, one tool that will guarantee that your red line will be positive for everyone. Do you want to hear it? There's like a special secret move that you can go, well, you can just use this move, and every single time it's guaranteed your red line will be positive. Okay, who wants to hear it? Okay, it'll be easier if I say it. Yeah, not to fold, right? Or go all in. Yeah, go all in every hand. Like you have a hand, all in, all in, all in, all in. Exactly. I didn't say anything about earning money. So going all in every hand will guarantee red line positive. So please remember, this is not the ultimate goal. This is like the outcome of what you're doing. Okay, if you're earning good money and the way you play, you also earn money on the red line, it will give you lots of benefits for the player who earns money on the red line. First, you're going to have bigger or smaller variance. How do you think? So this course is coming to an end. That's all. Yeah, doesn't red line depend on the player pool? Exactly. It depends. Sure, but let's say it depends like 50 or 60% on the player pool. But if we are playing another 25 and people don't fold, you shouldn't be focused on the red line at all. And please remember, this is the outcome. So in my course, I'm actually showing like each tool that I use, like every single type of technology that I use. Also, every trick, and like it's up to you what kind of tool should you use, right? Because sometimes you use a hammer and sometimes you use a drill. So of course I'm not talking about the in poker terms right now. So sometimes if you're boxing with some guy who is defending every single time here, you shouldn't be punching him in the face somewhere else, right? You find different versus guy who is very strong and slow, and different versus a guy who is very weak and very fast. So this is the same. If you're playing on versus guys who are not folding, like forget about it. Just like you should. Well, the first point should be you should forget about the red line. You should like do the best you can in many areas, and well, the red line will follow. So, and I think on every stakes I'm earning money on Redline. Like if I sit on NL25 sometimes to show someone or to have a sweat session or NL50, we have positive Redline actually, because I'm doing something which is like totally out of the box, and I'm super aggressive and I'm calling them down and I can just bluff raise them and so on. But this is very difficult. I think the person who will be able to do those moves will be playing NL 100, 200, 400 actually, not NL 25. But okay, what I want to say is, like, in my opinion, because having positive redline, in my opinion, is also an exploitive poker. If you play an exploitive poker, then you have lots of benefits, and it doesn't mean you're going to. It doesn't have anything in common with the red line or like non-showdown. It's going to have lots of in common with your win rate. Maybe this is something that I discovered. I don't know. Actually, I think I can share the things that I'm doing, and you need to test it out by yourself. Because I can tell you, okay, I just overbet there or something, and for some guys it's working, and for some guys it's not. So what I was doing was, first of all, I stopped playing too many hands at the same time, too many tables. Because when you're playing like, I'll try to say it differently. Did any of you make any analysis, or I'm not sure if I'm asking in a correct way, make any analysis, what is the most profitable amount of tables for you? Anyone? Like 6, 7, 4, 3, 2. How do you think? I was doing that kind of analysis. So this is okay. I would like to see if anyone did the analysis by themselves or not. Wow, 8. Okay. But 2 zoom and 4 regular. 1 if I don't fall asleep. No, Marco. Okay, how did you count it? Like win rate or earning per hour? I think you should take earnings per hour into consideration. Okay, 0 because I'm losing player. Okay, you played 9 tables but lower the amount. Okay, 4-6. I used to play 8 to 10 tables, but when I started playing 4, I discovered the deepness of exactly. Like 3-4. Exactly. And you know what? This is my number. Sometimes this number, but when I was playing like 3 tables, my win rate was like this. When I was playing 4, it was something like that. When I was playing 5, it was 3 big blinds on average. So as you see, this is EV minus for me to add 1 more table, because for some reason, me and I think you guys too were losing some attention, some kind of information that is useful and you can use into your favor. And sometimes, okay, maybe let's. I will tell you how to play 4 tables and not to be bored and be sharp focused. The thing is, every single time when I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm playing 4 tables, it's boring. I don't know anything. Like I don't have anything else to do, but I want to play. So I was turning on some TV, some video shows, some music, and Skype, and I was surfing on the web and so on because I thought it was boring. But this is actually the sign of tilt for me, because the best session I played was like that. I was like preparing myself for the session. I was opening like 2-3 tables, something like that, just to get used to playing in the sharpest way. And then I was adding the third table and maxing the fourth table. I was opening like Evernote, the program that I'm making lots of notes, and my goal was to play 60 minutes, and I was setting the timer, and my goal was to be 100% focused for 60 minutes. That's all. If I was tired, I was taking a break after 60 minutes. It was also helping me, because when I was thinking like, oh, I'm tired, or I want to surf on the internet, I was reminding myself, okay, no, Robert, you need to be focused for this like 10 minutes more. So it was helping a lot. And my goal was to watch actively my opponents, to watch them, even though when I'm not playing any hand, I was trying to watch the guys, what they are doing, and taking notes. When you're playing Zoom, it's not possible. So the main reason why I stopped playing Zoom was that it was not possible for me to make notes in the real time. And it's not the best, Zoom is not the best for exploitive play, for exploitive style. Playing Zoom, you need to have everything perfectly analyzed. Opponents too, and I don't think you're able to buy hand histories, which is very important, because when you buy hand histories, you may be prepared for your opponents. And Sun Tzu said that if you know yourself and your opponent, you're going to win 100 battles. If you know yourself and you don't know your opponent, you're going to win one battle and lose the other one. If you don't know yourself and you don't know your opponent, you're going to gamble and actually lose. So that's why I do remember it, and I don't want to find myself in a situation when I don't know the competition. This is very important, because then your win rate is much higher, then your stress is much lower. Okay, Wojciech wrote something, so I'm going to read it. For me, the best sessions I have had was when I did warm up. Cleaned the table, took water, and 5 minutes of introspection, something like auto-suggestion to be focused and focus on thinking about ranges, opponents. Then when playing, it helps me to think loudly. Exactly. Yeah, this is a very good routine. I don't want to talk much about mindset, actually, but this is important. This is everything works together. So, like my best times, my best months in my career were when I was running every single day, when I was waking up 6 a.m., running for 20 minutes or Okay, I think something broke up for a second. Please tell me. Yeah, I think you can hear me correctly. So I was saying that I was running. So even though I hate running, and I got sick after a week or two after that, because I was running in winter. Yeah, because then you breathe, then you have lots of oxygen, and it works. But okay, let's come back to the thing. What can you do to earn more amount of money, and how can you improve your red line? So the first thing is to place less tables, right? Because then if you feel you're boring, you're doing something wrong. It means that you need to gather more information. Maybe you can spend some time off the tables and try to think, what kind of information can I get from the tables in the real time? So sometimes it can be making active notes in the real time. Sometimes it can be to put your opponent on some kind of range, even though when you're like not playing, you're not actively involved. It will help you to sharpen your reads, to get the reads, to understand how your opponents are playing. And most of the guys that I know, they're just playing, they're just clicking buttons. It's like, okay, this is standard, this is standard, this is standard, this is standard. I remember a friend of mine, back on Entraction, we were playing on an 1K. I mean, he was my opponent, this is a Polish guy. And he lost a stack versus a very weak regular whose 4-bet range was 1.2. So it's only aces and kings. And he stuck off ace king offsuit versus him. And he said, oh, fuck that. Lost again. Like, I'm always losing coin flips. And I was very unlucky this guy had aces or kings. He was not unlucky. It was not standard. He was just assuming that this is standard, and he was not thinking in this moment. So when you play less tables, yeah, of course, Wojciech, you're right. You can always find another path, but it's best when you prepare yourself to know the path earlier, or to get some reads, or to actively focus, or to actively look for the answer, while not being actively involved in the hand. Because when you're involved in the hand, you're losing some information. And I don't know if any of you recorded your sessions and then watch it after the session, but it was a totally different stuff, totally different experience. While you're involved in hand and you're focused on earning money, or you're focused on doing the best stuff that you can, you see your actions and what's going on in a certain way. But 1 hour later, when you watch it, it's like, what the fuck, what I was doing there? Oh my God, it was so simple. Or, oh wow, I didn't notice that. Normally, when you are not stressed and you're watching just a recorded video session, you see more things. So that's why you need to be prepared before you play, right? So playing less tables and being like focused, like you're monitoring everything and everyone. I call this master your space. So when I sit on the table, I try to be the master of my space. Not just my space, but I'm trying to be the master of the table. It doesn't mean I need to be the most active guy. Sometimes I was like super passive, super tight, because everyone was like, boom, 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 boom all the time. So I was thinking, what is the best style of play to earn the most amount of money? And I was trying to adapt. Even though it was tiring, well, sorry, I was doing it for the money, not just to have fun. I remember having a student who was, very talented, and he was very unstable on the tables. And the thing is, after a month of coaching, I discovered that he's playing in the wrong times, and he's playing tired. He's playing too many tables and so on, even though he had all of the knowledge that was necessary. And I created like a very simple instruction for him. Like before starting a session, ask yourself, how much energy do you have? Like if you have more than 80% of energy, then just play. If you have from 70 to 80, okay, this is like a B game. You can play shorter session, and please be aware that you're in a B game. It will be your B game maximum. If you have like 60 to 70, it's C game. Don't play. Please don't play. You should learn in this time. Use the urge that you have to play just to learn, to analyze your opponents. If you have less than 60 or 50 or something like that, just don't even touch the PC. And do you know what was the first result? After a week, he has shown me his graph. It was like that. And his red line was great because he was focused. He was like, he was doing everything correctly on L100. But after 2 weeks, he lost everything, from his winnings from this month. And I said, what happened? He said, you know what? It was boring. Poker needs to be a pleasure for me, he said. So I need to play, in the times when I want, not when your short agenda is showing. And it was very surprising. I think lots of guys want to play, just to play, and then we'll see, maybe I earn some money, and not to prepare it up front. Okay, Łukasz wrote something, and I'm going to read it. What when you watch your game and think you did well, however you always lose money? Well, I don't think there is a situation like that I really seriously watch my game, analyze it from A to Z and think, okay, I don't understand why I'm losing money. But I had times when I was doing everything correctly, in my opinion, and I was break even on longer periods of time. So I was trying to find the way to improve it. So my solution to improve it was, okay, let's try to analyze my game. If I found any answer, then it was very simple. The second step was I was trying to analyze my opponents and to seriously analyze my hands and their hands. If it was not helping me, then I just took coaching. From whom? Well, I always tried to choose the best guy that I could find, someone who has very high win rate. It doesn't mean it's the guy who can talk much or and knows a lot of concepts. It can be a guy who is just, I don't know, let's say I was playing an L50. So I have found the guy who was crushing an L100. And this is the story of my career. I was playing an L100 and lost 80% of my bankroll after a really bad month, because I always have had a very aggressive bankroll management. And I fell down to an L50, and I took coaching for the 50% of my current bankroll. It was one of the most risky situations I took playing poker. And I have chosen a guy who was playing 1916, so a standard tag. And back then I was playing 27, 22, and I felt I'm a log, I'm a super dangerous player, and I was losing money. So I took my ego aside and I said, okay, I'm going to do everything what this guy is going to tell me, even though I hate seeing a style 1916. This is fucking stupid. Sorry for swearing. I shouldn't swear too much. But he had 10 big blinds per 100 win rate. So at the end, I started winning money. I think at the end, after a month, I was playing an L100, and after 2 months, I was playing an L400. So finding someone who is an inspiration for you, and sometimes a group of guys who are much better than you, not the guys like you. If you're playing an L100 and you want to ask your opponents, ask your friends and opponents at the same time, what do you think? This is better strategy to get reads, like what those guys know and what they doesn't know about the hand. It's much better to have lots of guys who are much better than you and ask them what to do. Okay, Piotr asked, I have heard from a poker coach that improving red line is bullshit and you should concentrate on the win rate rather than on a red line. Yeah, I agree. I agree you should concentrate on your win rate, not on a red line. I agree. What's your opinion about that? Intelligent people swear a lot. The thing is, about the red line, this is the way you use your aggression. This is the way you use some tools to earn money, because sometimes there are two decisions which have very similar EV. Sometimes it's a check, sometimes it's bet. So I like to bet more because I call it derailing the strategy of my opponent. It means I assume every opponent that is playing against me has some kind of tailored strategy from A to Z, right? Or from A to B, or from A to C. And what I want is to use the huge aggression or some moves that I can use to make this guy feel very uncomfortable and force him just to do mistakes, or just to change the style he's playing, to try to follow me, to try to fight with me on a ring that I'm feeling much better than him. And I remember playing a heads up. I mean, I was chasing a fish, and I sat down on a full ring, and I was playing. I sat down on full ring, and there was a guy, a very big fish, and I discovered that there were 3 fishes on this table. So I decided to attack those guys a lot, and it was very lucky for me that they were sitting on my right. So I was like 3-betting all the time, isolating all the time. So after 1 hour of full ring session, I had like 35-29 VPIP prefer play style. I was shocked, but well, everyone was folding. I was like isolating all the time. Earned a lot of money. At the end, all the fishes just ran away, and there were 3 guys left: me and 2 regulars from these full ring tables. And one guy just sat out there, and the other one was playing versus me, a very taggish, needy player. So I'm not a perfect player in heads up, and this guy was neither. But I was very laggish player, and he was a very tight player. Tight players are going to lose in heads up much faster than laggish players in general. So I mean, like a 6 max taggish players or full ring taggish players are going to just lose in heads up. So he lost a stack, and then he started to tilt because he thought I'd fish. And he started to swear like, "Oh, you're so fishy, I have so many notes on you, I'm going to crush you, blah, 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 blah." He lost 6 stacks in 15 minutes because he was trying to do something against me. And it was like something that I was good at, not this guy. Okay, so I told you about playing less tables and being focused, making notes, being prepared, and also planning hands. Okay, please tell me, who is planning hands? Who is planning hands? And how do you plan your hands? Because what I do, different than other guys, I think, is I'm trying to plan the hands from pre-flop up to the river. Even though, let's say I have a king-queen offsuit, okay? So I'm going to write it. I have king-queen offsuit on the button. And holding opens. Okay. Okay, tell me what we're doing. We have king-queen offsuit on the button. What we're doing? Any suggestions? Under the gun guy opens. He's a, I don't know, standard regular. What do you do? I'd like to show you some, as an example, what will I do and how and why. Okay? Because examples are the best stuff. But I'm not going to go any further if no one is going to answer me here. Come on. Okay. This is a standard play. Virtual fold. Okay, I agree in general. Of course, it depends on the other guys. Okay. Okay. So I will tell you what I will check. Okay, because Depends. He's very fine. Okay. Wojciech, okay, let's challenge it. 13%, B 15%, C 15%, B 19%. Okay, Wojciech. Okay, thank you. I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay, I'm waiting. This is the question to Wojciech. Okay, how does it depend? Is it a fold or a free bet or a call? Because three solutions are fine. It depends versus whom we're playing with. Okay, so because there's a little delay in transmission, I think I will start answering. It will be easier. So first of all, I will be checking and fold to 3-bet. This is what I would check, because I want to see if I can just grab the money right now. If this guy is folding a lot, I'm 3-betting this hand. Exactly. The second stuff would be c-bet plus check fold on the flop. This is what I would check. As the other stuff. This is, I will check it. This guy is opening under the gun, and we know what to do. I mean, 3-bet or fold in general. But I would check those stuff like, okay, pre-flop raise, and let's say 15%, and fold to 3-bet 60%. I'm going to 3-bet this hand because calling it normally it's not as profitable as 3-betting it. But sometimes your opponents are playing very tight or very solid game. Or, okay, a quick question. Let's say under the gun opens 15% under the gun, 15% under the gun, and fold to 3-bet 70%. What do we do? Call, for fold, or 3-bet? Yes, but I don't care if the range of my opponent dominates my king-queen offsuit. The key is what my opponent is going to do with these hands. If he's playing super weak, and if there's any, should be a 3-bet, okay. Okay, I don't like to 3-bet. I mean, of course, you're earning a lot of money on 3-bet, but if someone is folding 70%, you should 3-bet polarized range. Polarized a lot. It means the strongest hands, like aces or something like that, and tons of trash, like 9-4 offsuit or something like that. Maybe not 9-4 offsuit, but lots of trash. So my first thought would be, I'm earning money on a 3-bet, but this hand is playable post-flop. So I would like to check how this guy is playing post-flop. If it's possible to outplay this guy and make this hand profitable post-flop, I'm calling. And I'm trying to plan, okay, the flop and the turn, just to see if this guy, okay, most likely or not, he's going to c-bet on the flop. Okay, so I'm going to check fold, c-bet fold, and also c-bet on the turn and check fold on the turn. And right now it's changing, but at the end of 2015, there were still guys on NL 200 that have like 65% of c-bet on the flop and 35% of c-bet on the turn and check fold 70% on the turn. So this is a standard call then. So that's why I want to show you that, okay, 3-bet, sure, obviously, but but I would be thinking in a way in this direction. Okay, first of all, if this guy is folding so much, I want to put as many hands, which are, you know, easy folds every single time, just to 3-bet, and make him fold and make those hands earn money, and also to get the most amount of medium to good hands to call this guy and try to win money post-flop. This way, I will be able to increase my red line and also to have a very good, solid calling range. Because if you're just, you know, 3-betting him in a linear way, it means from the best to the medium hands, you're going to lose lots of value in the long run. Okay, don't you think it would be more appropriate for big blind versus under the gun, since when you call from button, blinds can squeeze, so we can call as much expecting we will see flop every time? Of course, it depends. I'm like in this example, I'm not taking it into consideration because you already bought my series, and I promised to launch it for you after today's Facebook Live. You're going to see an answer in the video. I took all those stuff into consideration and have shown all the details, all the elements that are important to what do you mean can't? Well, I don't know if you've seen my my ranges, Preflop Ninja, and this is very funny because I'm showing the ranges without exploits that I normally use. Okay, Wojciech, so you would 3-bet him with kind of like type hands and call because it can play well post flop. Yeah, so the weak hands profit and medium ones profit too. Yes, exactly. I wrote can call, means can't call. Well, it actually depends. I think it's too long answer, but I don't want to spend so much time on answering that. Actually, I think you're going to get the answer in the course. Actually, it's going to take around 50 minutes. A very deep analysis. Wojciech, I'm going to answer to you right now. I don't like to 3-bet king king 3 offsuit. The reason for that is not that this hand is trash, but please imagine that you open, I 3-bet, you call, I make c-bet, you call, and then I just give up. And at the end, your hand is like queens, and my hand is king 3 offsuit. Okay, you've seen it once, and you say, okay, maybe this guy is 3-betting a hand like this or something. But after maybe even one hand, but after 2 or 3 hands, you're going to realize that I'm not playing in a way like I'm not 3-betting trashy hands every single time. I'm doing it versus you. It means that you can spot your own leak after the way I'm playing versus you. So I will be choosing the hands, trashy hands, that if you catch me bluffing you, the hand will be normal. So it will be like, let's say, king 9 suited, or 7-5 suited, something that I cannot call, or I don't know, ace deuce suited, or something like that. The hand that if you catch me, I will say, okay, what do you want? This is a normal hand. Like, I'm always 3-betting suited hands. The hand that is not going to make you think that I'm exploiting your leaks. What else? So the planning hands, playing less tables, focus. What else? Also a good technology. This is something that you cannot forget. Like, please tell me, who among of you have NodeCADI packages, like NodeCADI Pro Tools, NodeCADI Edge, or like all this Alan Jackson NodeCADI? Yeah, what kind of stakes are you playing, Wojciech, right now? Okay. Okay, let's. I'm going to discuss the technology. I realized, because I did forget, why I wasn't doing any table selection. Because for 4 years, I haven't been doing any table selection at all. And I realized it last year. The thing was, I started to use technology, and it was NodeCADI Edge, and after some time, NodeCADI Pro Tools. I ordered custom stats. I was analyzing my opponents. So it doesn't matter. It didn't matter for me versus whom I was playing, because I have seen tons of very huge leaks of my opponents, even though I was playing versus a very good players who were playing NL 1K, 2K, sometimes 5K. And as I told you in the King Queen offset example, like, does it really matter what kind of hand do I have if the guy has a so huge leak that you can profitably call any hand versus he's open and just outplay him post flop? Actually, I told you that it does matter, because at the end he's going to realize that, and so that's why you need to play in a way to not like to outplay the guy, but it will be an art to do it in a way that he's not going to realize what you're doing. Because if he's going to realize, then you're going to lose your customer. So what I encourage you to do is to buy this stuff, NodeCADI Pro Tools. Or there is one, like there is a huge stuff. There's like a huge new program that I'm using for some time, and I love it. And it's called HandToNode. And if I'm not mistaken, it's free up to NL25. I think it's free to NL25. And if you're like, this is the best, the strongest tool right now. So you're going to be like miles ahead from versus your competition. Of course, you're going to spend 1 week learning this program, but it's going to earn you tons of money. It's much faster. It doesn't slow down your PC, and up to some level, it's free, and it's very powerful analysis tool. And so what I also encourage you to do is to contact this guy. This is his Skype, NodeCADI Pro Tools, and his name is Vadim. The guy is going to help you install everything, to tell you how to use it effectively. Just tell him that I think you're going to get an exclusive service from him if you say that you're from me, because I brought him hundreds of customers already. I bought every single product that he has, and I'm using it for years. So this is also very important. But please remember, you're not going to, if you need to improve at some point, the best technology won't help much. You need to improve playing poker and also to improve your technology at the same time. Because for many players that I coached, this is like a huge league, and they didn't know. Okay, what else? I told you about watching the guys actively and trying to use the best tools. And I also said several times that it's not your ultimate goal to have red line positive. It should be an outcome. So if you do the stuff that I told you, like to play less tables, to watch them, and also to try to make reads and to plan the hands, like as I told you, in a way, like, okay, I have lots of stats, so what I do, in the moment when, even though if I have like jacks in a situation like I said before, like under the gun is opening and I have jacks, even though if I know in a second what should I do, I spend 10 seconds pre-flop to think like, if I free bet and he's going to 4-bet, what should I do, call or fold? Or if I free bet and this guy is going to call, what should I do? How should I play? How his hand range will look like, right? What other hands can I free bet? And I'm trying to find an answer before I make a move, right? And the very same stuff I'm doing on the flop. Let's say I build a plan pre-flop. The flop comes. He called the free bet, and then the board is very bad, like ace, king, something, and I know that it's way ahead, way behind situation. So I'm trying to, I already know that I'm losing versus his better hands, and I'm winning versus his weaker hands. So I'm trying to upgrade my plan. It takes 10 seconds or something, and then on each part of the hand, I'm spending time just to imagine how can I win the most amount of money from him. And this is very important. So this is something that you can do. The other stuff is what you should do after your session, okay? Because the session is not the time to do everything. You need to close the session and then try to analyze. So in my first blog, I think on Liquid Poker as a Lego09, it was my nickname. I've made an analysis, and today an analysis of a hand in a blog post. So what I encourage you to test out for 30 days, not 3 times, 30 days. Every single day that you're playing, please do this after a session. Take Okay, so this is something that I have created like 6 years ago, something like that, and it's working until today. That you can take all this stuff, like all the hands, and try to build something. Try to see how the range of your opponent looks like, and how your range looks like for your opponent. And then you just do the stuff from pre-flop until to the river, and then visually you'll have tons of answers before even you ask questions. Sometimes you can analyze the hand and you see, like, you think like, what should I do? I don't know. And after making this analysis, you will know. And after a month, just 1 month, just come on, like, you may do it for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour per day. So I'm talking about 30 hours of your time just to make the super EV Plus analysis that is going to make you earn more money. Then you'll understand the weaknesses of your opponents, your weaknesses. What is the shape of the range? Anyone heard about the shape of the range? You know that this is this guy. This is his concept. He wrote a book, and where I have found it. But he wrote 4 books, I think, and each one of them I read, and I love it. This is a very good author, and he is writing about exploitive poker. So I encourage you to get to know to the work of those guys, of this guy. Okay, what else? Maybe you have some questions that I can answer right now. Or you can, at the same time, share the stuff that you learned today. Okay? And I take a drink. This is my water, and I'm going to wait for some stuff that you're going to tell me here. Got 3 parts, thanks to you. What kind of 3 parts? You mean the ranges that I gave in my free ebook? Yeah, for sure. Because these are very tight ranges, very hard to outplay. This is like this 17-14 style. Of course, this is something else, but this is like a starting point. Ah, sure, I get it. Yeah, it's going to work. Great. What else? Okay, guys. What I want to do, I promised to give 2 or 3 things. I didn't. Are these ranges for Zoom? Yeah, I think they are good. Like, test it out by yourself for 2 or 3, 4 days, and then you'll see, and you can tell me. Just feel free to tell me. Okay, guys, I promised to give 2 things. I didn't want to say upfront what kind of thing that I'm going to take into consideration, because it could destroy. I want to tell Started to play ranges my wall. Great, Wojciech, I love it. Any particular poker room you recommend to play? Well, it depends, because I'm not playing many hands. That's why I'm playing on 888 for like 2 years already. And well, it actually depends, you know, because I was playing on iPoker, or I was playing on Zoom, I was playing on Party Poker, so I don't know. I think you need to find it out by yourself, what's best for you. Could you please explain what to do? What do you mean by building ranges of the opponent and putting them into a doc file? Yeah, sure. Like, let's say some guy is opening, Okay, and I don't know, you have tens, you call. He makes c-bet on some flop and you call. What happens later, it doesn't matter right now. But what you should do when you analyze a hand like that, you should open one of the programs that I described. Try to put this guy on a range, like what kind of hands he has in his range, and what kind of hands you have in your range at the same time. So you you just make print screen from this program and just copy paste into the doc file. And then you're going to, like, every single time when you watch it, you're going to follow what you've done and how the range of your opponent looks like. Okay, Krzysztof, can you write a book about exploiting certain types of opponents, like how to play versus passive fish? I'm going to make a video series in a few months about how to play fishes in English. I've done it already on Poker Strategy in Polish. This is the title of this video session. Of these video series, I think there were like 4 videos or something like that. I think Barton, then why should you put them into? Oh, why? Okay, you can put it whenever you want, but you need to have a place that you analyze a hand and you put the ranges in a visual way. Okay, because when it's written, I don't think you'll be able to see it so vividly, so easily. You should like see the range. How does it look like? You know, from A to Z. Okay, from my experience, a good startup like Setka game, capping to 6 tables, and a good pre-flop strategy like your ranges, and enough to crush micros tested. Okay, nice to hear it. I agree with that. Hubert, I started analyzing my sessions this month, just like you proposed in one of the previous lives. Analyze every session, and yeah, it boosts the hand reading abilities, the shape of the range recognition, and general building of the game plan for each of the hands. Really, guys, really try this out. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to hear that. I think it works. So, I think, like, first of all, Hubert already has something from me, but we didn't make use of it yet. Piotr Pachol. Yeah, that's good. Okay, guys, because I think slowly we can finish. I need to ask you about one thing. This is my email. I want to give 2 things. First of all, I want to give but because many of you were very active, and I don't want to just pick, like, okay, let's say, you know, Piotr or Wojciech or Hubert, I don't know. I really want to ask you guys, like everyone who actually watched my Facebook Live, to write me an email explaining why you should win or should get the package of 1 hour of coaching. Why? And I also want you to write, what did you learn from this Facebook Live? Okay, like just 2 things, like why you should do this and why you should get it. And I'm going to, today is 12, so I think until Friday, I'm going to give an info who is going to get that. Okay, do you like it? Does it work? Well, do you think it will work for you? But at the same time, it's very nice to hear that the things that I'm asking and I'm telling it's very good to do, and someone is doing that. Doesn't matter if it's in Polish or English. I understand both languages. Okay, so if someone already has the package, then 1 hour of coaching works, right? If someone took like 40 hours of coaching, there are some guys like that, then the package is for him most likely. Yeah. But so only please choose 2 languages, English and Polish. So I'm going to like put it in official info and share the course, because I think it's going to help lots of guys. Okay, so great guys. It's already 11 p.m. For me, it's very late time because I'm getting up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. tops. Okay, me too. I'm an English teacher. You have a little leaks, but it's very good English. I know I have good leaks, but this is the same as in poker. You don't need to play perfect. You need to be better than your opponents. So I think my goal is to be understood. But thank you. I think I need to improve just a little. There's the joke. I'm not sure if I'm going to say it correctly in English, but I'll try. There are 2 managers who went for safari. Okay, there are the 2 managers from like a huge company, and they have like all the stuff packed on their backs, and they meet lion, and like they're frozen to death, like, oh my god, what we're going to do. And one of the guys is like taking his cap away. He's like taking off his shoes, taking off his trousers, and the other guy is asking, like, what the fuck? What do you do? Do you think you're going to be faster than a lion or what? He said, no, it's enough that I will be faster than you. I don't know. Yeah, I think we can bargain, Łukasz. I think it will be like 5 hours of English lesson for 1 hour of poker lesson, because I take $175 per hour poker session, and unless you're taking in the hour in certain time, then it's cheaper. But this is like every single time I want to manipulate guys. Okay, like I want to do coachings in those hours. Normally people don't use other hours, so it's perfect to do. Okay, thanks guys for today, and I'm waiting for emails. I'm going to find the lucky guys soon. Okay, so see you. Bye. Just say you take more than Rodmaf. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, thank you guys. See you then. Bye bye.